Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
Paranormal Bunker. Y'all come on down and join Nikki, Robert, Kayla, and Cole. Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sit with us as we traverse the portals of the universe. Let loose the secrets of the cryptids. Make haste with the truth of conspiracy. And explore the hauntings of our world. And once again, welcome to the S4 Paranormal Bunker.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the S4 Paranormal Bunker. Tonight we are talking about ancient civilizations. But we're going to go a little farther back than 10,000 BC. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Friend, so how's everybody doing tonight? Tonight we got a full crew. We got Nikki, Robert, Kayla, Cole. That's the crew.
Hi.
Doing all right. Surviving migraines, but doing good.
Good. And Robert, how you doing?
And you know,
Had to get out of the house, so she was bringing the boys down here for their appointment, so I decided to come along to Emu Park in Queensland, Australia. And I was just showing off the beach just before, and there's seagulls down there. Don't know about fish, but there's seagulls.
Well, usually where there's seagulls, there's fish. Friend.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Queensland.
Well, they got the shark
beautiful.
net still out on the. I'm assuming there's sharks still out there. Yes, they got the shark net still out there.
do we have video up?
Yeah.
Yep. Is it really hot in Queensland right now, or?
It's 25 degrees Celsius. I'm not too sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I think it's about 89,
Yeah, that's pretty warm.
80 something. So yeah,
It's
like
almost
it's
90.
15 down where
Yeah.
we just bought. 15 degrees Celsius where we just bought today,
Oh, okay.
and lower. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Right.
Well,
But we're just at the end of winter.
you're
so-
just at the end of winter. You're about to start getting warmer and warmer.
Colder.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it
no.
already is.
No, warmer and warmer.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I totally. Okay. I told you my brain is like derp-a-derp tonight.
I don't expect
It's
much
tea.
from the person that told me the Arctic is on the south area. So,
Okay.
just-
So I don't
just
know
saying.
my globe. Whatever, man. It's because the Earth is flat, bro. I'm sorry. Okay.
Get out.
Bye. I will let myself out. Thanks.
Friend.
Uh,
No, like, it's been, I an interesting week. Schools are all starting back up, so friend,
Stop driving like idiots. Sorry.
Yeah. Don't be a dickhead.
yeah, friend. We've seen a few of them already.
I don't understand how many times we have to explain when a bus is stopped, the stop sign is out, and there are children boarding said bus. You don't go flying past the stop sign.
True.
That's just
Oh,
stupid.
if they don't pose a target, then yeah, stop.
Right?
Some of the bus drivers, not very many, but some of them have gotten to the point to where they literally
Pull the bus out sideways.
pull the bus out in a sideways pattern so
Yep,
nobody
Mm-hmm.
can go in
It's,
either direction because it's gotten so dangerous for those kids. So those drivers are doing what they have to keep those kids safe.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
So, yeah, I had a friend many years ago. She's long past now, but she was a bus driver for what is it, Laidlaw? The giant yellow buses in the greater Puget Sound region. And the things that she told me, she went from bus driving into administration. Loved her dearly. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. Really sad that she's been gone so long. But yeah, I learned so much from her about what they would do to try to keep the kids safe. And man, it's completely different than it was back then.
Yeah.
I mean, but it has gotten worse.
Yep.
Anyhow, on to a different subject.
Friend, well, all right, we're going to start with a question again. Friend, so my question, and here's the thing. This question,
Ooh. Birdie.
again, I got it from that stupid fucking Ancient Aliens bullshit show. God damn it.
See, subconsciously it's sticky. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Friend,
Oh, just admit you love it.
no, I like still, I yell at that show so much, I feel like it's sports. Like,
Well, I gave him a choice the other night. I said, well, we can put on Ancient Aliens so I can go to sleep, or I can watch the new Bollywood movies. And,
Jeez.
yeah, we're not going to go there.
he definitely chose Ancient Aliens over Bollywood. He told me that I will get in the car and I will leave until it is over.
I don't know. Some of those Bollywood movies are kind of cute. Some of them not so much, but you know. Wow.
In order to save my own, in order to save my own skin here, I am going to not respond to that at all. 'Cause,
Gee, I can't imagine why.
yeah. And,
I ouched you.
yeah, the only thing you ouched was the juice. Friend, but this is a question that Kayla has been arguing for probably like
Son of a bitch.
years. Friend,
By the way, I have no idea what he's going to ask beforehand, so if it's something really, really stupid, I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
throughout the years of the show, Kayla has claimed that that she believes, and ancient astronauts agree with her, that there
They
are
say yes. Sorry.
different, there were different civilizations before Mesopotamia.
Mm-hmm.
Friend,
Well, that I totally agree with. Yes.
yeah, it's something that she has tried to convince me of numerous times. That we've had countless civilizations that have...
Yeah, recycled Earth theory.
Yeah, that have gone away and have gotten up to the levels of technology that we have in some ways.
In their own unique ways, but yes.
And then one of the biggest things she always brings into fact when she says this is the Life After People series on the Discovery Network.
Yeah.
Friend, the problem I have found with that series and with
The whole idea.
the whole idea of Recycled Earth is literally in that series, the idea is they just fucking disappeared. Where the fuck are the bodies? Like, I agree, our tech will disappear, everything else will disappear.
Yeah.
Bones don't. We've proven that.
Yes and...
So where are the bodies?
Oh, God. All right, here we go. Woo! All right.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
So when I said recycled Earth,
Hope you fall down the dust.
that we have gotten to this point before, and then some cataclysm happened, and it knocked us back down to, like, amoeba size, and then back all the way up, okay?
Yeah.
So in that theory, though, it doesn't mean we were always human. Okay? So, like, even if you think about bones and everything else, it doesn't even mean that we were carbon life forms at that point. We could have been a totally, completely different configuration, and we could be seeing the bones.
So you're saying...
But we just don't recognize them as bones.
Well, I'm not saying that we were just dinosaurs, but I mean, like, there is oils and stuff from the compression of all of the, like, bones and minerals and life, right? That, what was that before? You have no idea what that was before. And bones do eventually decompose. Like, they'll become oils, they'll become fossil fuels.
Parts of them.
Yeah.
The bone itself, the calcium deposit is still there.
Yeah, that's noting if the bone was actually made of calcium.
Every living creature on Earth so far has proven that it's made of calcium.
Every living creature on Earth this time around has proven that it's made of calcium.
Hang on. What were those birds?
Ibis.
Ibis. Okay.
Ibis.
Long, freaking curved beaks.
Yep, they do.
I didn't see. I wasn't looking at the screen. This is not fair.
Oh, cool.
I think there's one there, isn't there? Right.
No.
Is that its shadow or its tail?
That's its. It has shadows and a tail, Cole.
Yeah, it's gone.
Really, they look like a crane, a really tall crane with a really long curved beak.
I thought you said it was Emu Park.
It is. They haven't got emu.
And just because it's named after the emus doesn't mean...
There's no other living creatures there.
Birds are allowed there, okay?
If they're real.
Well, there's seagulls down on the beach, and the ibis are up here because I was just feeding them some rice crackers.
See?
Nice.
And there's sparrows or something flying around, darting about. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I just don't know how I'd go on with the wheels on the sand down there. So don't even bother.
No, that's the kind of thing where you'd need 4-inch wheels
Uh huh.
to traverse the sand.
Yeah.
I have an old friend that actually has a wheelchair that has those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Friend,
I've seen them about.
It was expensive, apparently.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I mean, even your standard ones are expensive.
Friend... Well, no, like, if you were considering regular wheelchairs or standard, like, even electric wheelchairs not expensive, these are, like, Rolls-Royce expensive.
Yeah, no, I totally
Friend,
understand
they're
what you're saying. I'm just saying even your typical wheelchair is pretty expensive if you're buying it outright and having it custom fit to you.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research into that for my mom. Oy vey. It was wicked expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyway, that was
so
really
ancient
cool to see that.
civilization. Sorry.
I got lost in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woody showed up.
Who?
Woody.
Howdy.
Yeah, from Toy Story.
Oh.
Friend.
Just gonna wait for Buzz.
We're gonna leave that one alone.
Okay. Anyhow.
I don't like. I just do not
believe in my ideas.
Yeah, on that one, no. I cannot fathom. We have uncovered way too much.
We haven't even dug more than 7 miles down in our own freaking Earth.
Yeah.
Well, and only 5% of the what was it? What was the statistic I thought it was 5%. 2% or 5%. It was some astronomically low amount regarding our oceans.
But at what age are you ranging these civilizations?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
What
so
era?
If it was, but that's what I'm talking about, is the fact that some of these are even unfathomable eras. Okay? Because it wouldn't be like pre-Ice Age, so 10,000 years ago. It wouldn't be that new. Because you got to think of, okay, so if you take the entire existence of Homo sapiens, okay, so from the time the first Homo sapien to today, okay, now we're talking an entire, that amount of period of time, if not longer, because that entire species of whatever was here before would have had to have done the entire growth of the species, lived out until it went into what we're in now, died out, and then it would have had to have gone from that again all the way back up. Do you see what I'm saying?
But the problem I'm having, Kayla, is my fathomability.
Your fathomability isn't there.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I grew up in Drumheller, Alberta.
Yeah. Yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah, the dinosaur capital of the world. Like, my fathomability of life on Earth
time period
starts
started
way before 10,000 BC.
No, and I understand that, but what I'm saying is that, like, okay, back then, all the way through, like, first amoeba on Earth, first living creature, all the way through our existence now, and then boom, you start over from first living creature, first amoeba on Earth, an entire new evolution until they become intelligent enough to get to modern era style stuff. Okay? And some of them never made it to modern era style stuff. Look at, like, the Neanderthals and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I got a question for you, though.
Oh, yeah.
When was silicone discovered?
Silicone?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know when silicone was discovered. I'll be honest. I have no idea.
They isolated silicone in 1823.
Okay, cool.
Which means it's been around for just around 200 years.
Well, since they discovered it, yeah.
Since they've been able to isolate it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nikki.
No, I was just gonna say, Robert, you've got background stuff going on.
Yeah.
Brand.
Okay.
Okay, so silicone's been around for 200 years.
Sure.
On that Life After People, they claimed it would be 10,000 years
before the silicone would
dissipate.
Yes.
How the hell do they know that?
Well, they're looking at the it's the same way we know how long a star is going to be living. We've never seen one created to death.
We don't.
Like, no, but we can estimate the amount of time based on the energy output and everything else.
That's
just like
energy.
Okay, so just
silicone
like
doesn't have energy.
I understand that, but it still has a decomposition rate. Okay?
Carbon dating.
If you look at the decomposition rate of silicone, then you can state it will take X amount of time before it will this. Okay, it's all hypothesis based off of the information that they have, but that's all we have.
So, in actuality, there is nothing to say that we shouldn't be seeing parts of those civilizations still.
No, there isn't, and honestly, we do see parts of those
we
civilizations still.
We haven't found them. I mean, look at what is going on with the different lakes in different sections across the globe. Because of droughts, we're now seeing different civilizations that we didn't know about because we weren't scuba diving in the lakes deep enough. Some of these really deep lakes now drying up. Look at Göbekli Tepe, where you've got a really ancient civilization, and if it hadn't have been for somebody digging, they probably wouldn't have found it when they did. And how big of a deal that's become. And then there's other little, not so little civilizations that have been found here and there, and villages that were not even in our known history books. They and look at what there was something I just recently posted. I didn't make it public. I made it for friends, but it was something about how there was a Native American tribe where it's finally been scientifically proven. I can't remember how it was worded, but it's finally been scientifically proven that this specific tribe was it came from crossing in a very specific way, and instead of it basically proved how word of mouth in indigenous tribes, I mean, it's truth. And now they have been, don't remember which tribe it is right now, but they have now scientifically proven, they've got ancient civilization evidence now. And I'm like, it's about damn time, because they've done the tradition of word of mouth from generation to generation. How many generations has this happened with, all the way down the line of the tribe? And now there's scientific evidence to back it up. And it's like, there's all kinds of things like that on this planet.
Well, I also would take into account.
So just know it. I might have to turn off for a minute.
Okay.
No worries.
So I also look at out of place artifacts. Okay.
Yes.
That people have found, like the hammer that was completely encased in rock. Or like the spark plug that they found inside a geode.
Yeah.
That's about 500,000 years old or something. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a while.
Okay, but that's my issue with things like that. Is scientists have also proven you can put a spark plug in a geode in about 10 weeks if you really try.
Yes, because you can. Okay, so that's my other thing too, though, is that.
But there's carbon dating. They're using different scientific methods to prove.
No, I will. I'll be the first person to say that carbon dating is very unreliable, as far as actually figuring out the dates and periods of stuff. It's the closest thing that we have to being able to figure it out, but it is massively unreliable. Just because if there's any kind of nuclear signature to anything, it'll carbon date it way older or way younger than it actually is.
And also the fact that, friend, the way I look at it is carbon dating is done by who?
Scientists.
Scientists who need what?
Grants and funds.
Grants and funds, which is provided by
archaeology societies
conglomerates
and governments and
people of power.
Yeah.
If they want something to look older than it is, it is.
No, I totally and fully understand what you're saying. It's just
I get where you're going with that, but
there's too many variables there for me to believe that it's just people saying this is what this is. Okay? Because we have found a lot of really weird stuff in a lot of really like bizarre places that haven't been opened in thousands and thousands of years, that haven't had people step foot on them in long enough for an entire jungle to grow over top of them. And that is just civilizations that we know of. This is pre or post flood, okay? Post ice age. Shit, like right at the beginning of the ice age, like right. Okay, anything from like 15,000
from the third
years
ice
ago
age
to today. Okay, but that's just stuff that they know of. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna tell you my crazy shit here for a minute. So when the world was first forming, right? They talk about the fact that there were two worlds. One world smashed into us, and that's what made the moon and everything. Right?
God said, "Let there be light," and you flipped the switch.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, but at the beginning of our Earth's forming, okay, there was a hot volcanic hellscape. Okay, for like millions of years, it was a hot volcanic hellscape. Okay, so with that being said, what if something existed at that point? Because we could have, and this is where Kayla gets a little bit nuts, okay? But when they talk about stories of, like, the jinn, okay? And they talk about the fact that they're, like, these all-powerful beings that have been here for millennia, okay? Well, if you think about the type of environments that they live in, they were born of the fire, they were created in fire, they were a being of fire, energy, and light, right? Like, originally, before the whole corruption of what they were and genies, and you know what I'm talking about. But, like, the original idea of the jinn was the fact that they were predating humans and that they were born of fire.
And whose history was that? Who wrote that?
Shit. It's Middle Eastern.
Yeah, but who wrote it? Humans.
I can't remember off of the top of my head. I can't remember.
Humans, though, right?
Yes, but they're talking about something that could have potentially existed. This is okay. So what I think is that at the beginning of the Earth, when everything was all volcanic and ashy and hellscapey, okay, that there was a civilization at that point that lived in that environment. And then again, and again, and again.
Okay. But would you agree that Aristotle and Claudius Ptolemy were great minds?
Most people would, absolutely.
Okay. And they wrote a lot of books about, like, or a lot of scrolls about what, like, was going on in our world.
Sure.
They were for the first two that really wrote the main scrolls that made us believe that the Earth is the center of the universe.
That we know of, yes.
Friend. Okay, with that, do we trust them on that now?
Well, no, because the Earth isn't the center of the universe. The big black hole in the center of the fucking universe is the center of the...
Okay, but using human writings on jinn.
Yes.
Not the jinn. Jinn.
The jinn.
Right. It bugs the shit out of me, and I don't know why. Right?
Da-da-da.
But using the human writings on that, how can you believe it?
You gotta have faith, baby. Okay, it's the same thing with any book that you're reading or any kind of faith that you believe in. You have to believe in it. It just has to be belief.
Belief.
It has to be believed.
It's just it doesn't have to be believed. It's your belief system. So it's what you believe.
Don't
so
listen to her, Nikki. She's a cult leader. Friend. I'm telling you. Did you hear that? She said, yeah.
Breathe, you two. Breathe.
All I'm saying was, so was Joseph
Deep
Smith.
breath.
Because he wrote a book.
No, he found a book.
No, he wrote a book that he sold.
The Book of Mormon. Yes. But.
Oh, this is getting interesting. This is why I'm staying quiet.
It's just a belief system. It's just like anybody who believes in any higher being or higher power. You believe it's true. You read the ancient scrolls. You read the stuff, and it's a leap of faith. You have to either believe that it is or you believe that it isn't. Like, there's...
I don't think you were reading the ancient scrolls. I think you were smoking them.
Oh, God. But, so it would be just like, okay, modern day Quran, modern day Bible, modern day, okay, you read the words, okay, and whether or not you believe in it is all about the faith that you put into it, okay? Because there's plenty of things in those books that we haven't found in person. That we can't go, this is exactly where this is, and this is exactly what happened, and everything else. Okay? We haven't found Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat.
Bullshit.
Like, shit like that.
They found it like 18 times. They found Noah's Armada.
Okay. But, with all that, I mean, it's putting your faith in something that is intangible because we can't actually prove one way or the other whether it actually happened.
Noah's Ark leads me back to the carbon dating part because out of all of those ones that they found, at least 8 of them have been carbon dated to the time.
Yeah.
That Noah's Ark supposedly happened.
Yeah, but you realize that, like, flood stories have been through all kinds of civilizations throughout history. So just because, okay, so if God came down and he talked to one specific person and he told him to build an ark, to put all of the animals that you have in your area into this ark 2 by 2, okay? It doesn't mean that he wouldn't have told different people in different areas if the entire world was going to flood, okay? But the only story that they have is based off of this one particular person's point of view. So in their point of view, they were the only ones that were told this.
Okay, but my view of Noah's Ark is a little bit different than most people's because I'm not kidding about an armada. Friend, I don't think they were all his. But I do believe that many people were told.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that it wasn't just one person in their family.
So I do believe that 90...
XYZ.
Like, well, I'll say at least 50% of the ships that they found, or arks,
probably were Noah's Ark. It's just whether it was...
Well, no, they're not all Noah's. I told you
Noah, or whether it was somebody else.
Because, here's the thing. If you take away the impossible, the next most probable, no matter how improbable,
is probably
true. What is the one impossible thing about Noah's Ark?
That every single animal in the entire world was on the ark.
Can you fit one of every animal from the world on one ark.
So that's exactly what I was saying about multiple arcs, is the fact that he took one of every animal that he could find. Somebody else over in this region took one of every or two of every animal they could find, and
then we had 3 ways because there was only one from one ship.
But you also got to understand that the thing that isn't taken into account when you think of Noah's Ark either is all of the animals that didn't need to be on there. Okay?
Oh, I'm just talking about land animals.
But that's what I'm saying. There are certain insects that can survive on the water. There's a lot of different reptiles, a lot of different fish, and different things like this that are water-based animals.
Yeah, the dodo slept in.
Okay? So, with that, like, you wouldn't have to have one of every creature. It would just be one of every land creature in the area that you can find.
I'm going to turn to Nikki for this part. Nikki.
She's laughing about the dodo. You gotta give her a minute.
It's okay. The unicorn also slept in. Friend.
And then they mated, and that's where a platypus came from.
That was a duck and a beaver.
Oh, my bad. My bad. You're ducking.
Shit.
Oh,
Oh, dear God. Okay, Cole. Hit me with a question.
Fire away.
Do you remember a lifetime from the Great Flood?
No. What I do remember... Oh, this is not going to go over well. And actually, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before last. I had some smartass come into my... I typically get smartasses coming into my chat while I'm doing a live. And people say, you need Jesus. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I've met him. I remember him. Because I recently remembered, while I was doing a live, somebody had asked me a question, and I actually remembered seeing Jesus on the cross. And I'm like, I started asking myself, okay, is that can't be. And I'm like, but then there are certain factors that I know that I will not publicly talk about. There's no way in hell I will publicly talk about what certain things that I remember from that lifetime.
Yeah.
And when I looked up who the person was, I'm like, God, I know this name. Why the hell do I know this name? And then when I looked up who the person was, he's in the Bible. And I'm like, what? And because there are certain things that I remember doing, but flood-wise, no. That's long before. I don't remember that section. I remember Atlantis. I remember numerous lifetimes after that. Before that, I remember being what we would classify as an ET. I'm going to hang on a second. Sorry. I remember before Atlantis, what I specifically remember is having lifetimes as what we call ETs or extraterrestrials, aliens.
Yeah. Off-worlders.
Yeah, off-worlders. And what I remember about that time frame, holy crap, I just got told I was one of the ones walking. Holy crap. Sorry, I just got told by one of my guides that I was with Moses walking through the sea, walking on the soil when the sea was parted. And I'm like, I don't have any memory of that. But I'm like getting waves of, my stomach is starting to flip, which I mean like really flip, which means that, yeah, it's true. It's information I guess I'm not quite ready for.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, well, that's a new one. Chased. That's what I feel is the chase. The breeze and okay. That's fun. But no, I don't remember any. I don't remember the time of Noah, but I do remember. Well, what I've just talked about. I'm just stunned. I'm just absolutely stunned. But yeah, a lot of us went from, and this is off subject in a way, but a lot of us that died in Atlantis, our souls, most of us went on to either Egypt, in royalty or some level just below royalty. And others of us, if it wasn't there, it was we went to Crete, and God, there's a couple of others that's all around Greece and Crete and into I cannot think of the name of the countries. It's Middle Eastern, basically, which I find fascinating. So, yeah, I can feel friends and loved ones from one specific Egyptian, or not Egyptian, Atlantean lifetime. And sorry, I've got Egypt on my head right now. And so I knew where they went. Not everybody, but and the ones that got off planet as part of Atlantis was sinking, because thousands upon thousands died. Yeah, we got so many off that we could off planet via ships and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember. I can only imagine what it would have been like for them, though, because of the past lifetimes that I do remember. They had a hard. We think we have it hard at times. It ain't nothing in comparison to the kind of stuff that ancient civilizations went through. And yeah, there were civilizations that did have power. They used frequency as power. But I don't have specific memories to say, look, this is how it went down. This is what really brought it down. I don't have those memories. But when I hear something regarding ancient civilizations that have been found, my gut instinct starts screaming, going, yep, that's right. That I know is right. And when I know something's wrong, I'm going, that don't feel right. So I do know that there were civilizations. Many of the civilizations that I know about, that it's all about frequency. Those devices all got shut down in one fashion or form for whatever reason. And what took out the civilizations could be anything. Could be a weapon, could be so many different things. So, I mean, just like what Atlantis went down. So it's
well, okay.
People do strange things.
So even now, we would be considered like first world, or we would be considered high tech. The U.S. in general, okay, it would be considered like a technical civilization. Okay? To a degree. Not like super high tech, but...
Include the rest of the world and then I'll agree with you.
Well, that's...
Yeah, I was going to say add China to that.
Again,
and add
this is
Japan
what I'm
and-
saying. Like, I'm talking all, like, first and even portions of second world countries and some third worlds even are technologically advanced. Okay? As far as the human species goes. Okay? But we still, even though we are over here on a podcast, streaming through YouTube, doing all these things and have all of this stuff, right? There are still hunter-gatherer tribes out there. There are still people that would be considered non-technological. Okay? So, like, we have...
The ones on islands that are
or
headhunters, literally.
Australian Aborigine tribes. We have all kinds of tribes all over the world that would still be in that. Yeah, yes.
If you introduce them to people from Mesopotamia, they'd be like, "What is this magic you have?"
Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying,
it's all a matter of perspective, Kayla.
Okay, perspective aside, what I'm trying to say is, we have different evolution of human and different technology bases and everything. Still, to this day, we have different groups of human beings that are more advanced than others. We have civilizations that would be considered more high-tech or more advanced than others, and vice versa, right? So we have all of these different levels of civilization on our planet as is. Okay? Now, why wouldn't we always have different levels of civilization on the planet? Okay? So, each civilization grows at its own pace because it figures out its own technologies, figures out its own way of doing things. Right? Well, it doesn't mean that, well, like, for instance, okay, so when we had over in England and all that stuff, they had civilization, they had ships, they had all of this stuff. People that were in parts of the Americas at that point would be considered hunter-gatherers at the point when they came, right?
Okay.
That right there is a massive difference in structure and civilization. Do you know what I mean?
Is it?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because 2 months ago, I was still called a savage.
Okay.
No, but like, Kayla, okay. They had technological advances.
Advancements, right? Yes.
So did the natives.
Well, yes, but that's what I'm saying is every culture develops on its own technological path. Eh?
Yeah, but they're not always the same.
No, of course they're not. We're arguing the same point.
No, but we're not.
Okay.
Because you were saying that one is more civilized than another.
In modern day thoughts of civilization. Okay?
That's not civilizations, that's class systems.
Okay, fine, classing systems then. But we've always had those in place where we're like, wow, this country does better than this country. Wow, they created this where this country doesn't have this. You know what I mean? It's always been that way, like, through time.
No, we lost that to a point. Because now it's individualized communities.
Yeah.
I mean, the south side of Chicago is considered one of the, like, lowest class places in the world, and they don't have a lot of things that everyone else does. They don't have cell phones, most of them anymore. Friend, they still, like, they don't have a lot of things. They don't have access to the internet. Half of them don't have access to clean water.
Okay.
Like, civilization has gotten to the point where it is no longer a term that it was before.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. All I'm saying is that we're all on different evolutionary paths. That's what I'm talking about. Is the fact that, like, back in the day when she's talking about, like, Atlantis and stuff, they were considered this, like, I won't say superior civilization, but they were considered like the Wakanda of their time. Like, their technology, the stuff that they were able to do versus all of the other people and civilizations around them. Okay?
Once they were found.
Yes. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we could have a civilization right now that was better or more advanced or whatever you want to call it than Atlantis, but it doesn't mean we know where it's at. There are so many areas that we haven't discovered on our own Earth. And honestly, we could have, like, some kind of... Okay, and I'm not saying, like, actual mer people, but we could have some kind of intelligent species of aquatic animal or...
There are mer people.
Right.
Of what, sorry?
There are mer people.
But
I know you disagree, but...
No, I don't understand what you mean by that.
Well, she's talking about different civilizations. We don't even have the undersea okay. The governments that have things hidden.
Mm-hmm.
They've been exploring. They've been exploring inner Earth. They've been exploring undersea.
Mm-hmm.
Publicly with the sciences in the public arena. We do not have that knowledge. The governments, specific governments with conglomerates, do, because they have and are keeping the information hidden. You go right back into the trickle-down effect with the stinking TV shows and the movies. You go right back into that. It's another trickle-down effect. There's so many trickle-down effects in what has been released in information.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different mammals in the ocean and different aquatic creatures that we do not
even know
yet
exist.
Yes, we do not even know exist. And yet there's becoming evidence that there's a possible megalodon around, or a couple of them, because they have had giant whales with gigantic washing ashore over the years with gigantic teeth marks that are not normal feeding
Like
frenzies
shark,
of great white sharks or other kinds of sharks that eat on dead mammals in the ocean. And
well, I mean, if you went back
there've
to like
also
the
been sites
12th,
Well,
the
they're-
13th, 14th century, they believed in Kraken, and they believed it was a true
Yes.
animal that existed and that
Yes.
did these things.
there are
Yeah.
so many different things. I mean, 125, 150 foot squid is not unheard of.
No.
And that's not even remotely the size
Well,
of
and I mean, like, even if you
the
look at,
Kraken
like,
supposedly is.
like, again, if you go off of biblical terms, the Leviathan was a giant, like, sea serpent, and at that point in time, like, everybody believed that that was real. It wasn't a matter of it being a delusion from somebody, or somebody noticing something and saying, hey, look, it's the Loch Ness Monster, or something like that, okay? Where we don't have the ability to, like, fully, okay, yes, this is what this... But several hundreds of thousands of people say that this existed. But we don't have any actual evidence of it existing.
Yeah, and look at the time frame as to what just happened with that Native American tribe. They, after all these years and speculation and oh, it's not real and all this bullshit, and now they've got the documentation because they found artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually found and our scientifically abilities have been able to prove and document that it came from the time frame that all of these generations of stories that have been passed on from from one generation up the chain to the current timeline. It's now documented. It's no longer story. It's fact. It's documented fact. And I think a lot of those things are happening or are going to be happening in our near future or even in our distant future, because even public-wise or private-wise, regarding government and conglomerate and deep project, whatever, it'll all start coming out one way or another.
Well, and that's the thing. I think we are at a precipice.
Yes, I fully agree with that, Cole. I really do.
A precipice we have not seen in human history.
Yes.
Proven human history.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
look at. Oh, sorry.
We are one world civilization at this moment. We really are.
Yeah. Ish.
Friend, if you look at the original term of civilization, we are one world civilization. One world civilization. If you look at the new world, we are so friggin' spread apart, not by distance, but by class. That, well, like you could have one of the richest people in the world can live next to one of the poorest.
Yep.
And they may never interact. But I've been thinking something for a while.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
But like this has been a few years, and it's an actual, like, a lot of people believe this.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm on the same timeline as them, is what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. We are no longer controlled by our governments. Because our governments don't have any control left.
Okay.
We are controlled by only corporations.
Well, I mean, governmental structures are controlled by corporations, so therefore, in the actual term of everything, we would technically be under that corporations ruling versus...
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing is, our corporations have gotten so big that we are pretty much under a one world government.
Okay, so, the example of this, okay, this is a terrible example, but Pixar's Big Mart, or whatever, okay? Big Buy, big something. It's the store in every Pixar, and it's the...
They're Walmart.
Yes, it's the company that rules everything in, like, WALL-E, okay? Before the world ended, or they moved into spaceships, or whatever. If you really think about that, okay, so, like, I was doing some weird stuff on that the other day, but it's, we have different companies now that aren't, like, it is really, really hard anymore, unless you're in a very, very rural area, to find, like, a ma and pop store, okay, like, and I'm talking, like, grocery store status, not, like, little convenience store that's, like, mom and pop owned, but, like, the original IGAs, that kind of stuff, they aren't anywhere near as prevalent as they used to be. Now it's all...
Again, that is area specific.
Yeah. Yes. But a lot of us... Okay, I'm going to go with Washington economy, just because that's what I'm basing it off of, is Washington economy, okay? It's very hard to find a store that is operated that only is that one entity that's like family owned since 1932 or whatever. You know, like doesn't exist the same as it used to. Almost everything has been conglomerized and bought out by like Kroger's or you know what I mean? So it all falls under the umbrella of a larger corporation, which falls under the umbrella of another larger corporation, and so on and so forth until you get to the fucking Rothschilds or whatever that seem to rule everything.
I don't think that's as true as you think it is. For the reason that I think just the idea of what a grocery store is now has changed.
Well, yeah, that is completely different than what it used to be. There's a lot of things that are completely different from their original.
If you go to downtown Everett, there are at least 2 grocerias that are doing fairly well still. Mm-hmm. For in Seattle, I would imagine there's more.
Yes, there still are the. Okay, you're not understanding.
No, but I get they are being undercut and blown up, but they still do have enough people that believe in that type of system.
For now. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing.
Eventually, we're all going to be Amazon people. Or something of that nature. It might not even be Amazon. It might be a reiteration of it 20 years down the road or whatever.
Yeah, we will no longer have commercial buildings where we go out to buy something.
No, we are going to order it online and it will be delivered by a drone 5 minutes later. Like,
no.
That kind of thing.
And that's if we made it.
If we made it to that point, yes. Okay, and I could see that type of a thing happening, but I could also see our world is on a very strange path right now. I'll put it that way. I don't know how to put it any other way. But
well, it'll get worse before it'll get better, but yeah.
Yeah. We're on a really weird path right now, and we can go one of so many different ways that I'm not sure what 100 years from now looks like. Okay? Because 100 years from now, we could be in flying cars like the Jetsons and doing all this stuff. Or we could be fucking making a campfire and huddling around it to be warm. It all 100% depends on everything leading up to what ends up happening with civilization. Okay? But,
okay, you were cutting in and out really badly, but the gist of everything that you just said got through, so that's at least something.
Yeah. So, depending on what paths we decide to choose, depending on if we do end up going completely AI, completely technology-based, which we could, okay, then our world would look very different 100 years from now than it would if, let's say, a global EMP hit and we now are back basically Stone Age style, trying to make it and doing some Mad Max crazy shit. Okay? I mean, there are so many variables in what could happen in the future that we don't know whether we're going to be more advanced, less advanced, or where we're going to end up in that time period.
Yeah, I would agree with that simply because of what I've seen psychically regarding the future.
However, I do believe that there are going to be a small percentage of people, just like she was talking about with Atlantis, okay, that will make it off Earth. Okay? Like
we'll make it off planet?
Yes. That eventually, given enough time, given enough everything, that they will eventually be space capable and able to fully live in space. Okay?
I'm going to make a correction on that. We already have that capability, but it's in private hands in the private sector of conglomerateship with governments.
Okay.
If it came out into the public arena, then yeah, I would totally agree with that.
But I mean, regardless, we have all of these different paths that we're leading towards. One's leading towards
Yeah.
destruction. The other one's leading towards off-planet exploration. The other one is leading towards a greener, better Earth. The other one... So it really honestly depends on what we decide as a species. Whoever the powers that be are going to decide whatever they decide. And it will lead us down what path we are taking as a globalized species.
Brent, well...
Could be an interesting conversation, couldn't
yeah,
it?
like... Okay, the whole greener, better Earth...
I'm just saying, there's several different things.
I don't think that one's
on.
in any line of sight that we have.
No.
I would have to agree with that, but however, there is still the small possibility of if everybody were to,
stop making money?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
No, but that's what we'd have to do.
The likelihood... Well, yeah, but I mean, at the same time, we could go to a non-monetary system.
You're talking probably 500
Yeah,
years from
okay,
now. I
and
mean,
I'm
it's
not-
gonna, if something like that were to actually take place, because the greed factor is so strong on this planet,
Mm-hmm.
that it would take, in my estimation, it would either have to take a complete, like everything goes dark,
Mm-hmm.
and going to a barter system,
Okay, yeah.
uh,
Now, I was...
and then working back up from there, or you're looking at, I mean, with as slow as the United States is going on so many different factors right now, and the bullshit stuff that's going on, just in our country alone, let alone so many other countries across this planet, it could take easily 500 years before we got to that state. But here's the other side of it. ETs are, and yeah, I am going to bring it back to the ETs, because ETs are wanting us to be in our consciousness state, in a better position with our consciousness, so that they can come in and start helping us. I mean, really helping us with the global everything. And if we continue on the path that we're going, it's not necessarily going to be a good thing.
Well,
yeah, because of the fact that you've got such a greed market, and they, on so many different planets, do not have money systems.
Well,
not that I remember and I'm aware of.
now,
But it's not just that. We are not just, it's not just greed of money.
No, it's a lot of things.
Yeah, we're greedy of time. We are greedy of everything.
Okay, there we go. I was talking more like a dystopian future, where instead of physical money or payments, it would be another form of... It would be a non-monetary form, but it would still be a form of payment. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so do you know how,
I get it.
I think it's called Timekeepers or something like that. How it's a movie where they have little wristbands that tell their amount of time that they have until they die, and they trade time with each other in order for currency. It's a currency-based system, but it's a time-based currency. Or there's several dystopian movies like that where they go to something other than actual cash in hand, actual money value. It's more either time value or technological value, or it's still a monetary system. It's just not monetary
barter.
based. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and barter is a form of monetary as well. So, I mean,
Yeah, so I
Crazy
think
things.
that eventually we will be a non-money society, but it doesn't mean that there's still not something you have to pay in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because, like she was saying, we are a very greedy, power-hungry species.
Mm-hmm.
And
emotional.
Unfortunately, we have been a very greedy, power-hungry species for a very freaking long time. And we don't seem to be able to break that cycle of anger and power. So I don't know that we, with our capacities at this point in our evolutionary progress, would actually be able to push that aside to betterment of mankind.
Well, but that's part of the problem, is the fact that everything we are doing right now is not pushing towards betterment. And technology itself is killing us.
No, everything that we're doing is killing us. Like, look at our foods, look at everything. Everything has some kind of chemical or some kind of fucked up thing that it, like, okay, so everybody is good at computers now, that's awesome, but then they lost the ability to do this. Like, it's that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even the fact of what we are, like, that the fact that we can use a computer. It's what we're viewing.
No, and it is. And honestly, we are...
Like, look at the terminology we
goes
use
right,
for that.
It goes right back into control. Yeah.
For an brain
right
rot.
back into control.
Yeah.
Yep.
For an...
Well, and that's the thing, is that you got... on the technology side of it, okay? So you used to have people that were like J.P. Morgan, or you had people like that would be able to change the minds of millions to believe in their ideals, to follow this path because this is the only path, that type of thing. Well, now you have influencers, you have people that can come up and you see their faces
Content
everywhere.
Creators.
Yes, content creators, influencers, this kind of stuff, that are doing the same thing, essentially, that J.P. Morgan and like stuff like that was doing before.
But only for 15 minutes.
Yes. But our attention spans are about that much now, as far as, like...
So tiny, and it's because they went from long... They literally shortened algorithms down to where it's now 15 to 30 minute attention span, and now everybody's down to this 1 minute, 30-second, 1 minute reels.
Yeah.
And that makes a significant effect on the psychology in the brain.
I think it was Stanford that did the study on it, and the average attention span of a human being at this point in time is 35 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
comes
horrible.
right back into control.
Yeah.
Okay, but see, here's the problem, okay? Is that we have been slowly progressing to this for hundreds of years. Okay, because if you think about a couple thousands of years ago, okay, the only type of entertainment and stuff that they had back then would have been reading a book, star charting, stuff like this, where you'd had to sit and you had to look at something for an extensive period of time.
Yeah.
Okay? Their storytelling was hours long and around the fire. You know what I'm saying? Okay? So, we, as a species, have been continuously shortening that span through technology for hundreds of years now. Because it went from doing this, like sitting around the fire telling a story, to reading books, to, okay, all that kind of stuff that takes hours and hours and hours to do, to watching a movie, to listening to a radio broadcast, to, okay, now we're going to do even shorter, so we're going to have 30-minute sitcoms. Okay, now we're going to go even shorter. We're going to have 30-second reels. Okay, so like all of this stuff, we've been doing this to ourselves for like over 100 freaking years, we have been minimizing our own ability to comprehend things for longer than specific periods of time. Like, it's really hard now to find a kid that's like, maybe under the age of, I would say, 12, maybe even a little younger, that will actually fully sit there for a movie. Okay? That will watch a full movie. What?
You're going to go as low as 12?
Okay, well, there's some 19-year-olds, some 30-year-olds. But what I'm saying is that you also got to look at the demographic of the family and how they were raised. Okay? Because if it was a family that was very technology-ridden and always went up with the next upgrade, always. Okay? Or if it was a family that up until streaming services came out, they were still using a VHS player. Okay, do you know what I mean? Like, there are different levels of that as well.
I still know people that use corded telephones.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but some.
I don't think that's the difference.
What?
Landlines.
I think it's the ones that actually recognized it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And saw that screen time needed to be
X amount of time.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
yeah.
Which is why we're constantly told that, hey, you're going to rot your brain if you watch more than 2 hours of TV a day. Or, hey, you can't be looking at the computer screen for that long.
But now jump that up a few levels, okay?
Yeah.
You look at it in country-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Who recognized it first?
I don't know.
China.
Okay. That actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense that they would.
They also recognized what it was doing to their country.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, they have shorter work weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They have more vacation time.
Yeah.
Their days are cut in threes for naps.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
okay, well, that's the thing, is it's life and quality of life. Okay, it's that.
But it's not just quality of life, Kayla. It's the fact that they recognize we are not making as much money because our people are not as productive in this period of time.
Yes. So why work in this period of time if you're not going to produce anything in this period of time? That's right. That makes sense.
Whereas America and, America, Canada, the UK,
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, like we are all still running off a 40-hour work week with 2 15s and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Fran, and expecting the same amount of work out of the people that did this 100 years ago.
Well, and that's the thing.
Expecting more.
Yeah,
expecting more.
Is that when America, I guess, was first established as far as regulations for work, okay? So the original work days actually lasted anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day. When we started doing, like, the Industrial Revolution period and all that, okay? And then the unions took over, like, when we became unionized and formed the first unions. Okay, like after the whole Triangle Coat Factory incidents and different incidents like that. Okay, we unionized and we created labor laws. Okay, and those were the beginning of our labor laws. Like, kids under this age can't do this. People over, like, all of that crap. Okay, that's when it went to the 8 hours a day, 40 days a week, or 40 hours a week structure. Okay. Okay. So what?
No.
Okay.
It was after the Industrial Revolution.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was during the period when we created all the labor laws and everything that we...
It was in the time of the Model T. Henry Ford was the first one to come up with it.
Okay.
Because, yes, we worked 10 to 12-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't at the factory.
Okay.
You worked maybe sometimes 3 hours a day, sometimes 10.
Okay.
and you maybe worked 4 days a week because you still had a farm at home.
Yeah, I mean, you were constantly working no matter where you were.
Well, no, they counted those hours at the farm into your work week.
Okay. But see, that's what I'm saying, though, is that when we did create, I don't know what time period it was. I just know that when we went all unionized and everything, and we created the 8-hour, 5 days a week, 40 hours a pay period, or a week period, 80 hours a pay period, whatever, structure, right? That hasn't changed for a ridiculous amount of time. Okay, that has been the standard for most businesses
For over 100 years.
forever. Okay, this is a full-time employee, a 40-hour a week. Yes. Okay, but the thing that I have noticed, okay, is, and it would be nice if that was possible to do, but there are a lot more people that are working part-time than there used to be. Okay, so a lot of people that are working like 25 hours a week versus that 40-hour mark. The only problem with that is in the economy that we have right now, you're going to need 2 or 3 of those freaking jobs in order to actually be able to pay and sustain a life. Unless you have a partner or somebody that you're living with or somebody that's helping you out in some financial way that is bringing enough money in to subsidize the other half or the other portion of whatever is needing to be paid. But in order to actually live, we can't live off of a part-time job unless we're making like $60 an hour at that part-time job.
Well, in the United States, you still can't because if you get hurt, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
But
I've always wondered about that too. The like L&I and the work structures as far as that's concerned, like, or your unemployment benefits or any of that kind of crap, right? It's always at like 60% or 55% or whatever of your actual gross income of what you would make if you were at work. Well, why? Why wouldn't it be at a higher percentage point? Because I'm just saying, like, if you actually got injured to the point where you cannot return to said job, okay, then it seems like you would still make a proper wage based off of the injury at that job. Like, you annihilated yourself for a company. I don't know. It just is.
And would you? But okay, but I got a question for you. If you were making the same amount, would you come back?
Yeah,
or
probably
can
not.
you convince your doctor to tell them you never have to come back, like you can't come back or continuously tell them he's not ready yet.
No, I understand that, but I mean, if it is a life-altering issue that there isn't honestly a way back from, it sucks that you can no longer provide because you fucked yourself up so badly doing this job that you can't. Do you know what I mean?
I know somebody where that happened. Skagit Valley Herald, back in the 80s.
So, I mean, there should be something that falls into that category, though. I mean, there should be some kind of backing for certain people, I guess. But where do you draw the line on what that is? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know people that have not gone back to work because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that is
and they claimed
true.
L&I
Well,
for
yeah.
it.
Yes.
It affects the psychology too.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
and
once
that's
you're
the thing, is then
injured,
you got to think of the mental.
No, I don't mean
thought.
Nikki. Like they never had an injury. They just decided
Ever.
one day that they couldn't handle that job anymore, so they claimed L&I through a therapist, and literally they were getting paid through L&I because they couldn't handle the job.
Yes, I do.
I have choice words about that.
I do know actually quite a few people who have claimed certain mental instabilities in order to collect fundage. I do know quite a few. But
Yeah, that's...
there are...
I also know guys, though, that, like, have cut off, like, the first knuckle of their finger and
Just
went back
for-
to work that afternoon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They had the doctor sew it over and put a bandage on it, and they went back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And, like, now we have laws against that.
Or we're supposed
Half
to,
of
but
places
people still
don't.
do
Yeah,
that
half the
kind of
places don't
stuff.
follow them.
Like, how many times has somebody, like, lifted something that might have been a little too heavy and thrown out their back a little, and just kind of played it off as, oh, no, I'm totally fine, and just kept working. Because they know, a lot of people know that they have their rent to pay, their bills to pay, their children to support, their family to support, whatever it is. So they're not going to let something like that give them 60% of a wage that they could be making. Like, because they can't live off of 60% of that, because that's not enough to pay for everything that they need.
Yeah.
So I know quite a few people who have injured themselves in some way, and some of them kind of almost catastrophically injured themselves, but still came back
That's...
like an hour later to do their job because they couldn't afford not to.
We also know quite a few people who have injured themselves on purpose.
Okay, so it's 15.
Yes. There are a lot of people that also have injured themselves on purpose
For
in
the
order
MRI
to
claim.
That's awful.
not have to work, but still collect enough money to pay
That's
their
awful.
stuff.
I've never known anybody that's awful. I've never known anybody to do that.
I have known quite a
incident...
few people to do that, but then again, I have been like manager of stores and companies and stuff.
You've
so
learned
you
about
deal
stuff
with
that
all
way.
kinds of really
Yeah.
awkward claims
Now,
and stuff
quickly
at that level.
Before we skip off of this started because you guys were talking about changing a monetary system.
Yeah.
Now, me and Kayla were talking about this, Nikki, in the car a few days ago. In a roundabout way. We were talking, like she said, why don't we just have replicators? Like from Star Trek.
Oh, dear God.
And I said, well, if we get one, you can replicate me $100 bill. And that was just a joke, you know? But here's the thing. Let's say the world did get replicators.
Or something.
Full replicators exactly like in Star Trek.
Okay.
The monetary system goes out the hill. It's gone.
Wait a minute. You mean as in Stargate?
No, Star Trek, like the food replicators and the replicators.
Like, okay, got it.
English tea, hot.
Yeah, got it.
But you can also build weaponry and everything else from that. Yeah. But actually, okay, so if you're thinking about Star Trek world replicators, they do have to pay Federation credits for the amount of time that it takes and for what it is that they're replicating to the Federation.
Yeah. One company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's global.
That means we lose every company other than one.
Yeah. But they're paying...
That's a one-world government.
Yeah, so they're paying the people are paying back in. It's all under one umbrella, though.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We have replicators.
Well,
And
yeah.
No, we do. And they are taking the world by storm. Mm-hmm. They are cutting out so many companies. It's not even funny. We have companies daily going out of business because of 3D printers.
Well, honestly, like, who expected companies like Macy's and Sears to not be a staple in every freaking city now?
Yeah. Kmart.
Fuck you guys. I miss Woolworth. Right.
Oh, I do have to say, Woolworths was awesome.
Right? I miss that place.
Oh, that was... Well, you know who replaced Woolworths? Bartels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, for you guys, we didn't get them.
No, we didn't get Bartels, but now we're getting CVS pharmacies.
No. Canada didn't get Bartels at all.
Yeah.
We didn't get a fucking replacement.
No,
we got told, go fuck yourselves. Mm-hmm. And we got nothing.
But as technology increases, as things like that increase, we are going to have less and less in-person locations to do things. And
To
we
a
saw
point.
that. We saw a huge uptake in that during the whole COVID thing, where everybody started working from home, where everybody
To
started.
a point.
Yep.
There are
Yeah.
certain things
For
we will
those that
never.
could work from home.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're like
For
you can't make a car
for
from
those.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So
Yeah. For those that could work from home. Yeah. The other ones, they all were fired.
yes. Well, and so this is the other thing that I always think about too. Is we talk about like the technology and that like everybody's going to be on the computer. They're all going to be doing like all these computer high tech jobs and different things like this. Okay. Yes, there will be a spike in those, and there will be a lot of people going into that field, but there is still going to be your road crews. There is still going to be your house builders. There's going to be plumbers. There's going to be electricians. As long as those things still exist, those people still need to exist. Your welders, your...
road workers will be a thing of the past.
Well, yeah, when they put up the sky signs.
As friggin' Doc Brown said, roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Friend.
And I'm not saying like necessarily road workers, but there's always going to be the labor portion. Okay?
Will there?
Up to a degree, yes. Because there's somebody that has to clean up the mess that the person makes. No matter what, there's certain professions that will not die out because they cannot.
Have you ever seen the movie I, Robot?
Yes.
That's a hell of a cleanup system that they got.
No, it totally is. But there's still...
Yeah. It's a huge butt.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, no matter
I know
what
exactly
ends
what
up
you
happening
mean.
in the future, there is still going to be what we would call blue-collar jobs. They are not necessarily going to be the same ones that we have now.
Yeah.
An optimist will do them all.
But there will still be, unfortunately, a classing system as far as that is
An
concerned.
optimist will do them all.
Yeah, well. And maybe, hopefully...
No, that's its name, Nikki. The Tesla bot, that's its name.
Optimus.
Optimus?
Yes!
Optimus.
Kid, oh,
like
no.
Prime?
No, we haven't gotten to Prime yet.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
the next
That's
model.
the next model.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit, we made a Decepticon!
I actually believe in order to name it Prime, he has to buy the rights.
From Amazon?
No. I want to say Disney, but I don't know.
I think Disney owns the franchise now. Yeah.
Friend.
But okay.
But like, they are going to replace every boring, repetitive, or unsafe task.
No, eventually, yes, they will. But what I'm
Okay,
saying is there's still going to be a classing system, because that's unfortunately the way our world works. Is we're still going to have the people that... Okay, so let's say we go all technology, okay? There's going to be a subsection of people that are coders. There's going to be a subsection of people that are pluggers. There's going to be a subsection of people that work on the actual wiring to your house or whatever the fuck ends up needing to happen.
Kayla, that is the whole point of these. They are going to replace all of that. There will be two sections.
Yeah.
The working
Because-
and the non-working.
Well, I guess so,
Look at-
because,
look-
I mean, like,
okay,
if you
look
could have
at
a
what's
robot
going-
come in and plug in your shit and set up everything, then why wouldn't you? Okay.
Look at what is taking place in Japan and China, and for that matter in the United States with Amazon stores, although they have closed a couple of them now, but there's no one there.
Yeah.
Credit system.
It's all automated crediting systems. Yeah.
But with China and Japan, the videos that I've been seeing, and they're not, I mean, we're talking a few years ago.
Yeah.
All the way to current.
Yeah.
Okay? They've had robots in restaurants cooking the food.
Yeah.
doing the work that humans used to.
Well, and I mean, for fuck's sake, you can buy a vehicle from a goddamn vending machine now.
Everything is computerized.
Mm-hmm.
Everything regarding restaurantship is all computerized. And so they've been doing that in manufacturing for years.
Yeah.
So it's been a slow process. What's the next step? I mean, you look at, and I dislike bringing him up, but you look at Musk and the situation to where they're putting electronics into human bodies. Whether it's for medical device purposes or creating a better body or getting the human consciousness into a computerized device. It's like the things that are taking place, and that's not even half of some of the stuff that's going on.
Well,
so,
yeah, like he's working on the Tesla taxi now.
Yeah, I know.
Aaron.
So, regarding all the other things.
Now I really want him to rename it. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to be called the Johnny Cab.
Dear God. Johnny Cab. Is that the one from the Mars movie?
Yes.
The,
Total Recall.
Yeah, I thought so. With Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell me you wouldn't get in one of those. Come on. And I mean, like, once they're tested.
Probably.
Friend. I mean, already we have a system where, like, if you don't want to talk to your Uber driver, you don't have to.
Yeah.
They get a message on their device saying, do not talk. Friend.
Yeah.
I honestly would have to decline every call that came across with that. Friend. But, like, it if you look at the new car factories that they're building, they have robots that are building the car. They have robots that are working on the robots that build the car.
Yep.
And they have robots that clean.
Yep.
Yeah, I know somebody in manufacturing of electronics, and the information I periodically hear from them is just mind-boggling.
Okay, so you guys know that I used to work in a solar panel factory. Okay?
Yeah.
Making different types of solar panels. Hey.
Yeah.
So, when the original solar factories opened, there were hundreds of people on the factory floors. Okay.
Okay, hang on, hold it. I'm listening, but I got to be off camera and off sound for a moment. So just keep talking, please.
But when I originally started, there were hundreds of people working those floors. Not when I started, but when they originally started making solar panels and stuff, because there would have to be somebody for every portion of the task, all the way down. And yeah, they had certain machines in there that would do certain things, but when I left that job, that entire factory could run off of 6 people.
Yeah.
Because it was so automated at that point, and we had so many, it was a fully automated factory. So there were people at each of the stations in case something messed up. And there were people at each of the stations to make sure to do starting procedures and ending procedures on certain things. But an entire factory that used to have over 100 people working the line could be fully and totally run by 6 people.
Well, and that's the thing that we're saying, Kayla, is you got to realize, friend, that is not going to extend to factories anymore. It's going to extend to your home.
To, like, fucking everything. Yes, eventually you'll have a robot that washes your dishes, sweeps your floors, and cleans your house. I mean, right now we have Roombas. They'll vacuum for you. You don't need to pick up a vacuum anymore. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah,
okay?
Nikki, don't buy one of those. You have a dog.
Trust me, I know that.
Have you seen what they do with dog poop?
Oh dear God, no.
So if a
A Roomba?
Yes. If a Roomba gets caught into like a pile of dog poop, they then carry it all the way around the house. Like it
in the pattern that you set up. It
doesn't get sucked up, so it just sits underneath and they push it around.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. One, you take the dog out. Two, what the F?
Well, but there's always those late nights where the dog doesn't like,
or where the dog is sick or something like that.
Yeah, dog's sick or dog's old.
Yeah, or where maybe the human has had a little too much to drink. Whatever the problem with that is. But yes, if it runs over something like that, it will just drag it throughout the house.
Oh, that's so gross.
But that's the thing. Once these bots, because like while you were gone, I was telling Nikki, Musk is now developing the Tesla taxi.
Yeah, I fucking buddy.
Friend.
Okay.
No, Johnny.
Johnny Cab.
Fucking
Johnny Cab.
I'm pushing for this, guys. Like, we want this.
2 weeks. Oh, sorry.
And, but
actually, the driving cars.
Every house is probably going to have the Tesla bot.
Oh,
in the next 10 years.
Eventually, it's going to be all iRobot style.
Yes, but here's the thing.
Yep.
Their job won't be that hard either, because we aren't that far off from developing self-cleaning windows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we get self-cleaning
our
windows
operating
and
systems,
self-cleaning dishes and self-cleaning, then
our operating systems on our computers are getting to the point where they will be able to repair themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To some degree.
Well, yeah, but like, there's always problems with those systems, but
that's what your
it will get to the point where all you're gonna have to do is press one button, and something else handles it, and it'll probably be an AI.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we look at different dystopian movies, okay, and you look at like Ready Player One. Okay, that's a big one.
God.
Where everybody, they live in the real world, kind of, but most of the time they're in their artificially created environments as their artificial people, as their, like, avatar people, and they do, it's like life is a video game, and then your actual life is just what happens in between. You know what I mean? So, I could see where with technology and with the way that the world is working and everything else, us going into something that we think is really cool to start with. We're like, yeah, man, this is completely interactive. This is awesome. This is whatever. And it becoming our world. I can see where something like that would eventually happen. Like, it would take over your day-to-day world, and you would be living in your video game for like most of your life, and then having your random outside video game experiences of like sleeping and eating or whatever.
We're there.
Well, yes, but what I'm talking about is like right now we're in immersive video games. So there are people that get so lost in video games and in the world that they've created within that game that they forget that they're in reality anymore.
But that's the thing.
Yep.
We didn't have to go very far to get there.
No.
We didn't need the Oculus or any of those. We didn't need something against our face. Friend,
we needed human imagination,
yeah,
honestly.
That was the most powerful tool we had. And games like WoW, World of Warcraft, completely took that to the extreme.
Well, okay, so think about it like this way. When we were first getting into the whole Facebook revolution and everybody on Facebook and everybody doing social medias and different things like that, okay? Facebook used to have,
2005?
and they still do, but they had the weird little games that you could play, like Farmville or
they
whatever.
still do, but they're not quite like that anymore, but yeah.
Right, so you had those type of games that came out on the social media platforms. And there were people that got so lost in those games that that was their reality. For the longest period of time, there were people that were so immersed in these games, and now, I mean, you look at them and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Okay,
this is like old Mario
yes,
style.
They do.
Like,
yes, I agree with you there. But that doesn't mean it went away.
No, it just upgraded to the next thing.
Which is Reels.
Yeah. So now we're
Because
all immersed in Facebook Reels
that's the thing.
instead of video games.
In Farmville
Or YouTube Reels.
and those type of
Yeah.
games, there is only so much you can do with your friends.
True.
But you follow an influencer. All of a sudden, that's your friend.
Yeah,
you don't
different
know
ballgame.
them, but
they're your friend.
But they're your friend because they know everything about you. They talk to you. They tell you what to do. Yeah.
But they also live a way more exciting life. Now you can live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the psychology of technology really sucks sometimes.
Yep.
Well, yeah. No.
What?
It's just a lot to think about sometimes because, you know, I am not a very technological person by most people my age and my ability to be able to be on technology, okay? Because shit, I don't even know how many computers and what kind of setups and everything we have in here. But at any given time, I could be online looking something up from like 17 different places in this freaking house. Okay? Like, without even thinking about it, I could just be pop.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But, weirdly enough, I am very non-technological for the amount of technology that's around me. So, I don't...
Yeah, you're that asshole. You're
yes.
like, I don't want to look it up. Hey, Cole, look this up for me.
Yeah. But I don't go on my...
have to make notes.
like, on my computer very often, and when I do go on it, it's usually to go onto, like, Google Docs and write something, or is a very simple program that I'm just, like, bursting out some, like, thought process or whatever on. Okay?
Yeah.
If I am on my phone, it is either because somebody called me, somebody texted me, and I'm responding to them, or there can be times where I can go an entire week or longer without looking at Facebook because I just don't think about it, and I'm doing all this other stuff, and then I'm like, oh, fuck, I wonder whose birthdays were last week. You know, like, stuff like that, where I'm just... Because I just don't think about it. Like, I'm not...
But that's not a fair assessment of the world, either. Where's your family?
What do you mean?
Where is your family?
In my house.
Extended family.
My extended family?
Yeah.
Well, how extended?
Even your brothers and sisters and your mom and dad.
Okay, like, everybody lives within, like, less than 200 miles.
That's a lot more than they actually do, but okay.
Okay, like, I'm just
60,
saying...
60 miles.
Okay, maybe, like, honestly, probably 80 is the furthest out.
No, 60.
60?
60,
Okay.
literally.
Okay.
Friend. So they're an hour away.
Yeah. Hour
Friend.
and a half with
Some
traffic.
of them are 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Friend. So if you want to catch up with them, and with everyone around them, what do?
Oh, I just stop at their house, knock on their door, and say, hey, man, what's up? We were in the area because we were going down to this.
Where are my parents?
About 2,000 miles away.
So if I want to catch up with my extended family, where do I go?
You go onto Facebook, or you go onto a chat system that you guys have set up, or you go and you call them, or you do FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, that is fucking fair. Because I never really thought about it that way before, because there isn't anybody that I need to really talk to that I don't either talk to on a regular basis, or I could just go and knock on their door and see them in person. There really isn't a huge amount of people that I couldn't just do that with.
And then there's also the people that have moved away, Kayla, who you haven't seen in many, many years.
I forget
but
about
you
people
still
that
want
moved
it,
away.
yeah, but you still want to keep up with what they're doing.
Yeah. So
And-
you just look up on them
But
on
when
Facebook or whatever.
when something happens in their lives, I know about it that week.
See, I know about it like 6 months from then. And then I'm like, wait a minute, when did that happen? And they're like, dude, that happened in 2021. And I'm like, oh shit, bro. It's been that long since I talked to you? Like, my bad. How are you doing? Okay. That's why I said, like, I don't run on the same time period
You don't
as
communicate
most
with people.
fucking people do. And I can go, like, 10 years without talking to somebody and then strike up a conversation like we just talked last week.
That is not true for number one.
Okay, some of them no. Some of them not at all.
Some of your closest ones, I have seen you have the most awkward reunions with.
Or the most awkward fucking communications. Like, I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, I don't know how to start conversations with certain people.
And no, hey, like, well, okay. I have had interactions with people that I haven't talked to since I was a kid or a teenager, and some of them, it wasn't awkward to talk to them. Like, the conversation flowed for the first 10 minutes. It wasn't awkward till we actually got into who we are now, and we're not the same people.
And you
they
no
don't like
longer
me.
have anything in common.
No, they don't actually like me because they don't like my views.
Or they don't like you because you guys have just grown so freaking separated from what held you together in the first place.
I don't actually even think that's it, because really, me and Mike don't have a lot of common anymore, but I can still call him up and say, hey, fucknut. Friend.
That is true. That is true. You and Mike are a weird situation, though. But at the same time, I mean, some of my closest friends from, like, high school or just after high school, like, I have no idea who they are, where they are, or what they're doing now. And we were, like, basically siblings at that point. We were over at each other's houses so much and doing so much together. That's the only person I can think of when I think of, like, high school is, like, this particular group of people. But I couldn't tell you what any of them are doing now.
I have one friend from childhood who was on my Facebook page. We unexpectedly came back together a few years ago because I saw her sister on a bus. And I recognized her sister because I would be she came from, 4 or 5 kids. Can't remember which right now. And
they all looked very similar.
Oh God, yeah. Their bone structure is very, very specific. And I took one look at her and I went, oh my God. And I said her name and she was not 6 feet away from me. She looked at me and she goes, do I know you? And I went, I'm Nikki. And I gave my maiden name. She goes, oh my God. So here we are all these years later. She put me in contact with her sister. And then the other one that I've got is from junior high and high school. Nobody else that I can remember at this second is on my Facebook page from my like little kid all the way through high school. So
I have one.
So I mean, I get it, and my situation is very different because both of them, one of them, the first one, she and I were very close friends up until a certain point, and then, because I moved, and I was over at her house, she was off and on over at mine, and we were like 8 or 9 blocks from each other, something like that. I can't remember exactly right now, but and she never knew, nobody knew about the ET stuff or the other stuff that I was going through Because, hello, it was all very hidden. And so when coming out and you've got this situation, things are a bit different. Do you really want to be on my page? And she goes, oh, sure. So she's found out an awful lot more about me. So, and has asked me questions as a psychic. So it's really interesting when you come across folks that you knew really well when you were a kid, and how times change and how things fly. And then I've got friends who are from 35 years ago who are like, wow, I had no idea that kind of stuff was going on. I'm like, yeah, and it wasn't discussed at all.
Yeah.
So, and you just can talk with them. You can talk with certain people about absolutely anything.
Yeah.
So,
Now, see, for me, like, I don't know how to put this really without, like, sounding really occultish and awkward. And I don't mean
just
to.
Say it.
Occultish?
But my family is different than a lot of people's. Okay?
Sit down again.
And we are
there we go.
more like the people that I hung out with as a child are family members. They aren't like other families. They aren't like close friends, that kind of thing. They're all like first cousins, fifth cousins. Like, so it's all family. And we still to this day get together every year and do a huge family reunion where everybody comes from all over the place. And we hang out for like anywhere from a week to 2 days and catch up on everything that's happened in the last year. So there are a lot of people that I have known my entire life. But most of my closest friends would also be considered a form of family. Like any of my childhood, like people that I hung out with in childhood, people that I went over to their house and did stuff with, and that kind of stuff. We were a very close-knit family.
Yeah.
We didn't really do a lot with people outside of that.
They were very stranger dangerous.
Right. Like, and that's just how it was. Like, I grew up, my mother's side of the family had 7, there were 7 of them, 7 siblings. Okay? And you always had people that were around your age to hang out with. You always had people that you saw several times a year or at family functions or at all these things. And they ended up being some of the closest friends that you made, even though they weren't other families, they were yours. Like, I don't know. Our family's a little strange in that way because it just doesn't happen like that a lot anymore.
Well,
yes and no. It depends. A lot of...
Pretty sure the Rothschilds are pretty still like that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I never had a lot of what you would call, like, super close friends. They were just super close cousins. I don't know.
Well, how close?
Hey, man. Not what I meant.
Friend, all right, ladies and gentlemen. With that,
of course, fucking course with that. My redneck ass wife.
Okay. Occultish redneck ass wife. Like, come on, friend. You said it.
Occult.
You said occult.
I didn't mean to say occult. I meant to say cult-like. Okay. God damn.
Crap, you too.
So they're not witchy, guys. They're just in a cult. It's cool.
Well, some of them are
witches. Oh
witches.
my God, that's not what he's talking about.
Okay. Well, I gotta be honest. That there are some of them that would be considered witches. So I guess...
Yeah, I've been to some of these reunions, and most of them aren't going to Heaven's Gate.
Hey, whoa!
What?
I meant they're actually would consider themselves a witch.
Oh, I meant the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next week we will be back with you 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Nikki, you released a show today. I saw that.
No, I released a show last Thursday.
Why the fuck did I just get it today? The fuck is wrong with
idea.
you, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube's doing all sorts of stuff. So yeah, my next one, I was supposed to do one tomorrow, but with my back being acting up for the fact that I had to get up and go stand in front of my bedroom door, that's unusual for me. So I'm going to do either Friday at 7 or Friday at 8 p.m. So
okay.
Because I've got an appointment tomorrow evening, and I expect with what's going on right now, I don't expect to be doing so great tomorrow night. So, an evening seems to be working best for me. So, very long story, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Friday night.
Perfect.
So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are out of here. We will see you next week. But yeah, Restore Belief with Nikki Jacobs. Friend. Also, like, Robert was here earlier. He had to go. But I think we're right around the time where he should be doing another show.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
I was thinking it's either this week or next week.
Yeah, so we will talk to him next week about that first thing and make sure that you guys don't miss that either. So,
yeah, and if we can, we'll post it on the Facebook page, our S4 Facebook page.
You know, for as much as I'm on fucking Facebook, I really should start posting more. God damn it.
You would think, but
yeah, I was going to ask you if it was okay to post something.
Absolutely. Anytime you want.
Yeah, but...
No, it really is. And it doesn't matter what it is. Because if I post, it's going to be car shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, because Cole is that person.
And Darman. I love Darman. I can't get enough of that guy. But lately, I've been watching this old guy who stays in the woods. And it's an old-ass, like, 1960s PBS documentary.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Oh, God, he's awesome.
Where he flies out to a cabin?
Yeah, he builds a cabin.
Well, yeah, like...
In Alaska.
Well, no,
in Alaska.
So, yeah, but when he started, he was staying at his friend's cabin, and then he built himself a cabin, too. And for his friend, he built
forgotten about that part of
upper
it.
cab, which I'm halfway through right now, so...
Well, yeah, that's a really excellent series for anybody to watch. I truly, what he did was just absolutely phenomenal. And I would highly recommend that.
I know, like, we just talked about how technology is evil and how all this shit is evil, but I'm going to rot my brain with people building shit. So...
Hey, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I love that kind of stuff.
I sat down and I watched... like 3 hours of people cleaning up wands. Okay.
I don't know if I could do 3 hours worth. Maybe 30 minutes, but yeah, I get it.
No, Nikki, like if someone put it on and you didn't have control of the remote and it was on when you were trying to go to sleep.
No, you can watch 3 hours of it. Trust me, it happens.
You can't stop looking.
You're like, I wonder what this is going to look like when he's done mowing. It's so stupid, but it's like your brain just gets stuck.
That's called fast forward, dears.
Well, can't do that, then you miss important stuff.
Yeah, you didn't know that there was a tree over there that they didn't find until it was
Or that he was going to pull out the weed whacker.
Or that they find a car underneath the weeds and, God, there's a dead body in it.
Friend.
I saw one of those from a few years ago. It's like, what?
The holy CSI moment.
All right, guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
Friend, thank you for listening. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
That's why I don't buy storage lockers. Oh.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.